friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. For today's video, I am going to be going over all of my spending for the second full week in my June budget, which is June 4th through the 11th. Nope, I'm sorry, it's June 4th through the 10th. So I'm going to be using my expense tracker here to track and categorize all of our weekly spending. So up top, I'm just going to write that this is June 4th through the 10th, and I'm just gonna go line item by line item, talk about all of our spending for the week. It was a pretty good week. So we're gonna start out with June 4th with a purchase that I made for some contact lenses. I have a sinking fund for this sort of thing, but it's completely empty right now, and so I had to take it out of our spending category, which is fine. And the amount that I spent was $36.03. So this is how I track my spending. I just go day by day, write down what I purchased, categorize it, and write the amount. I don't worry about an ending balance because that's just not how I use my expense tracker. I just use this to get a feel for our spending so that I can then use this information and enter it into my monthly budget to see how I'm doing overall for the month. So that was the first transaction. Also on the 4th, I made the payment for our golf cart. So the category for this is bills, and the amount was $150. That was everything for the 4th. Moving on to the 5th, we took our dog Maple to the groomers. We take her every 6 weeks or so in the summer, and then every 8 weeks or so in the winter, just for a bath, to get her nails clipped, that sort of thing. This is coming out of spending. We also did some sort of treatment that they recommend to help with shedding. We have a Shepherd Boxer mix who sheds like nobody's business. Whether or not that treatment actually works, I don't know, but it was $71.80, and she desperately needed a bath, so this was great to be able to get that taken care of. Next up, on the 5th, we had our car insurance come out, and our car insurance has actually gone up a little bit because my oldest son bought himself a motorcycle. And as much as I tried to talk him out of it, because the idea of him on a motorcycle scares the crap out of me, he's a full-grown adult. He gets to make his own decisions. So he bought the motorcycle. It's a Honda Grom. He absolutely loves it, but we had to add that to our car insurance. Now, Robbie does pay us for his portion of the car insurance. We keep it all together just for, you know, making it really easy to have it all as just one payment, but he pays us for his portion of the bill. And what I do is I put all of the money that he gives us towards the household expenses and whatnot into our budget as income, and then I just subtract out the bills as expenses. I don't keep his budget separate from ours, just for the sake of ease. So while this technically did go up, it's not us carrying the burden of paying that extra, it's all him. Just thought I would explain that so that I wouldn't get too many questions about it. Hopefully I explained it well enough. On the 6th, we did the first of a couple of grocery trips. And actually this was just an online order. I realized that we were out of cat food and paper towels, and so I just purchased them online to avoid going into the store, because I know that every time I walk into a grocery store it's at least $60. I would have definitely added things on, so I just ordered the 2 things we needed and had them shipped to our house, and it was $39.92. Also on the 6th, I had my YouTube membership come out, one of my YouTube memberships. I am a member of a few different YouTube channels. The category for this is auto pay, which is a line item in my monthly budget that covers anything that comes out of our account automatically. All of these little subscriptions and memberships and that sort of thing. And this amount was $4.99. Moving on. I'm just realizing I missed something. So this was technically on the 5th, but I'm just going to put it in on the 6th so as not to mess up my order here. We went to a local diner for lunch. My husband and I did. This was the same day we dropped Maple off at the groomers, and then we went and had lunch while we waited for her to finish. So that came out of our eating out category. And the amount that we spent was $34.14. All right, so we actually had a no spend day on the 7th. We didn't spend any money, which hardly ever happens, so I'm patting myself on the back for that. And then on the 8th, we had a whole bunch of transactions to make up for it. So first and foremost, we went out, my husband and I did, for frozen custard. Austin had a soccer team tryout this day, so we dropped him off to that. And then he and I went and had frozen custard while we waited for tryouts to finish so we could then pick him back up. So that came out of our eating out as well. And that amount was $11.81. Also on the 8th, we did a bit more grocery shopping. So when I put the order in for the cat food and whatnot up here, we weren't quite ready to do our whole weekly grocery trip yet. I hadn't written a list or anything like that. So by the 8th, I finally got it together and did that, made a meal plan and a grocery list. And so we actually did our grocery shopping, and I spent $113.66. Also on the 8th, I put in one more Walmart order, but this time it was not grocery, it was our spending category. I got us some new silverware because all of my forks and spoons have disappeared. I have no idea if my kids are throwing them away, or I know sometimes we'll get like a fork or a spoon accidentally down in the garbage disposal and it'll get like nicked up, so we'll have to throw it out. But either way, suddenly I found that I was doing dishes every single day, and yet I still only had like 2 forks in the drawer. So I went ahead and got some more silverware, and I also got us a new griddle pan because we desperately needed it. And I spent $47.65 on those items. Also on the 8th, my husband's Audible subscription came out of our account, and so that is also an auto pay line item, and the amount for Audible is $16.95. In addition to Audible, my Weight Watchers monthly subscription came out. That is also auto pay. And I signed up for a year of Weight Watchers at $11 a month. And so that is what came out, $11. Also on the 8th, my husband went to the pharmacy. I have no idea what for. Again, this type of thing typically comes out of a sinking fund, but that sinking fund is currently empty. We are focusing on some other goals right now rather than funding our sinking funds, and so that just means that we have a little bit more coming out of spending, which is fine. That was $4.98. On the 9th, my kids went to McDonald's. That comes out of eating out, and the amount for that was $27. And that was it for the 9th. And then last but not least, on the 10th, the last day of the week, I placed an order on e.l.f. Cosmetics for, I wanted to try out a new foundation that they had, and I needed to restock a couple other products that I use from them. And so that came out of spending, and it was $13.78. And we did one more round of eating out. It was a lot of eating out this week. We had less in groceries, but we made up for that by eating out more. I don't know if that's a really good trade-off or not, but we went to a little local diner, the same one we went to when my dog was at the groomer. Eric and I did. We grabbed some lunch, and it was $28.65. So that was all of our spending for the week. I don't know whether I would consider this good or bad. I'm gonna pull out my calculator and do some calculating really quick, and we'll get some totals here. All right, so I'm gonna grab some highlighters from my little thing here. Oh, I don't want an Expo marker, that's not gonna help me. And we'll just use a different color for each of the categories, starting with spending. And I will just go down the line and kind of add things up as I go. So let's do this. So we're starting with spending $36.03 plus $71.80 plus $47.65 plus $4.98 plus $13.78. And I believe that's everything for spending. So we are looking at $174.24 for spending. All right, next we will do bills. So we had $150 for our golf cart plus $590.37 plus, oh, nope, that was actually it for bills. So we had $740.37 in bills this week. Next, we will do grocery. We'll use this bright pink for grocery. So we had $39.92 plus $113.66. And that was it for grocery. So it was a really great grocery week for us. This is really, really low compared to what we usually spend. So I'm very happy to see that. So that is that. Next we will do auto pay, and we'll use green for that. So we have $4.99 plus $16.95 plus $11 for a total of $32.94 for auto pay. And then last but not least, then we have eating out. I'm kind of scared to see how much this total is. So we had $34.14 plus $11.81 plus $27 plus $28.65 for a total of $101.60, which is definitely more than I like to spend on eating out, but I guess it could be worse. So 101.60 for eating out. Now we will get a total really quickly. An overall total first, 174.24 plus 740.37 plus 153.58 plus 32.94 plus 101.60 equals 1202.73. And I want to get a variable total as well, because that information I need for my weekly check-in. So that includes everything here with the exception of bills. So I'm just going to add up all of these categories without the bills. 174.24 plus 153.58 plus 32.94 plus 101.60 for a total of 462.36, which was out of frame, but is there, you can see. So that was all of my spending for the second week of June. Overall, not too bad. It's certainly not the worst week we've ever had. I'm really happy with the grocery amount, especially. Feeling pretty good about that. So I am now going to take all this information on my expense tracker and use it to fill in my hybrid budget worksheet, but that will be a separate video. You guys will see that tomorrow. If you're watching this today, it goes live. So thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, you can hit the subscribe button if you would like. I would appreciate that. You can also hit the little notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. All of those things really help out my channel, so I appreciate your support. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!